BRIX Sales and kind of hopefully show you some tips and tricks and some new features that you're going to be able to use in the system today. So I'm going to turn off my camera and we'll dig right into today's session for our Toolbox Talk. So during today's session, we are going to cover a number of items on the Toolbox Talk. Apparently I'm tongue-tied today. Some of the items that we're going to be covering are, we're going to go up into update your company logo for more of a personalized experience. Then we'll also go over adding photos to options that you're currently showcasing to customers. We're going to generate a proposal together. And then once we generate that proposal, we're going to show your team how to convert that proposal into a full sales contract. So all of that work they've been doing with the customer is not all for naught. They're actually going to be able to convert that proposal right into a sales contract. So let's go over into BRIX Sales. I'm here right now. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to change my Toolbox Talk logo to my standard BRIX Sales logo. So first of all, let's log in. Now that we're logged into the system, one thing that you're going to need to do is make sure you have permission. So whoever's got administrator rights in your system is going to have to do this. And there's going to be a couple of times today where we're going to go over the permission settings. We'll do it for each one of the topics. So first of all, you're going to go into admin and you're going to go into your permissions template. From here, whichever user you want to give access to adding the logo, in this particular case, I'm just going to pick on the administrator one. We're just going to click on that particular user template, go into permissions. Now we're looking at the logo itself. So to do that, that's actually going to be on the in the utility section. And it's at the very bottom of the utility section under manage logo. So you'll see these extra boxes appear, and you just have to make sure that whoever you're going to give access to on that particular template has both the change and view logo turned on. So that's a new setting in your permissions that you'll be able to turn on for your team. So I'm just going to hit cancel because I'm not making any changes to mine. Next, super simple to be able to go in and change your logo. All you have to do is go into the utility section like I was talking about before. Scroll down to the very bottom. On the bottom on the left-hand side here, we're just going to go into manage logo. When I click on that, it takes me to this new page displaying the logo that I currently have in the system. From here, all I have to do is go into choose file. This is taking me to my desktop. I currently have mine stored under photos. So I've got pictures, Toolbox Talk right now. We're going to go into the sales one and change it back to the BRIX Sales logo. So just hit open. The information that you've loaded is right here. That's the file that you've loaded. We've already chosen, whoops, I clicked on it again. We've already chosen the file. There you go. And all I have to do now is just hit update logo. The logo appears, all's good. If we wanted to see how that's changed, we just hit the log out section here. Now your logo has changed on the main login page. So if your team is always just sitting on that sales page and seeing your company's logo, a great opportunity for you to go in and brand it with your company logo without having to actually even reach out to our team. You can now do this yourself. Let me log back in. Next, we're going to jump into loading options, loading photos for options. So again, we're going to have to make a change to some of your settings if you haven't already done this, and just make sure it's the correct user that you're assigning this permission to. So we're going to go into admin. We're going to go into the permissions templates again. I'm going to pick on the administrator right now. I'm going to go down to the permission side here. In here, again, it's more on the utilities section. So we're opening this up. We're going into the utilities menu here right now. Then I'm going to scroll down to the very bottom. There's the options menu. So when I open up that options menu and I can scroll down some more, there's the options grid view and the edit. I expand that one more time. We are getting the options page. And again, just expand that one more time. We're going to click off the change and images. So depending upon what you want your team member to be able to do you want them to be able to even upload new photos right into your system? Then we're going to actually update the image browser page information as well. So to be able to see these images and change them, you want to be able to turn on that option page. And then right below it, there's that image browser page. And there's a bunch of different settings in here that's going to allow your team to do whatever you need them to do. So if you don't ever want them to delete it, just don't give them the delete function. Or if you don't want them to be able to upload new photos, just don't give them the upload function here. So I haven't made any changes. I'm just going to hit cancel right now. As you can guess, because we were updated the utilities section in the templates, we're going to go up to the utilities area right now. In here, we're just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where the option is. So we've got a list of all of our different options. You can still use the tools across the top, so we can sort by plumbing if we wanted to. And apply. We're good. I'm just going to cancel that so you could apply that change if you want to. You could sort by your different categories right here. Got all of these features you normally would have on your screen. If I want to go in and maybe change the appliance package image or even see the image that's attached to it, all I have to do here is click on the option code. It gets me to the main screen. Then I can click on the image, and right now in that appliance package, I've got an image of a hose bib. So if I don't want that hose bib image on the appliance package, or if there was no image at all, it would be completely blank in here. To upload a new image, all you have to do is hit upload. Once you're in this section, you can actually upload additional photos. So you would be able to create file folders right in here and create a new file folder and say put all of your plumbing in a plumbing file folder, all of your electrical into an electrical file folder. Completely up to you how you want to drive this one. Right now I've just loaded all of my photos just to the main page. So from here to do that, all I had to do was hit the upload button and choose a file. On this one here, just for fun, let's just load that Toolbox Talk instead of an appliance package. Let's load this particular logo and just hit open. Once the image is here, all I have to do is hit upload. And my Toolbox Talk photo is now on the bottom left-hand side. So they're all going to go in here alphabetically. The way I've decided to label my photos is the same as the option code itself. So as you can see here, my flooring option codes start with the FLR, and everything is in alphabetical order on here. So if I want to load this Toolbox photo, now that I've got it actually uploaded to my image portfolio, I click on the Toolbox Talk, turning it blue. Then I just hit the set button right here on the left-hand side. Displays what this logo is going to look like. And if I'm happy with it, I just hit the save button. And now that Toolbox Talk is actually loaded to the appliance, so APL 001 appliance package 1. That's what the photo is loaded right now. So if I'm happy with everything, all I have to do is close out of this window. And you just repeat the process all the way down. So on the kitchen countertops, just so you can kind of see some of the images I have in here, I've pulled all of these images directly myself from the internet. So all I did was go out to my cabinet company. There were some photos there. I took and did a screenshot of that photo and saved it to a file folder on my desktop. And then the best way to approach it, I found, is to take and have a list of your options and then just mass upload them all at once. Once those files are there, then you take and assign them to the different options, just scrolling down the screen. I'm going to close this one here. So now that we've got our photos in here, we're going to go take and use some of these photos and create a proposal for a customer. You'll be able to see how these photos are actually starting to showcase to customers when you're creating proposals and or contracts and adding options. So I'm going to go over to the sales screen right now, and I'm going to go over to the customers. If you know me, I always pick on my daughter, who is Jordan. So I'm going with Wilson, my maiden name. And then Jordan's in here as well. We're going to pick on her in Cottonwood Place. So I'm currently on Jordan's file, and we're going to create a proposal next together. So all I have to do on Jordan's file, oh, my bad, I need to make sure we have some options or some settings turned on. So before we get into Jordan's proposal, let's go into the admin section one more time and make sure that you have all the tools you need to be able to use the proposal section. So we're going to go into admin. We're going to go into your permissions templates. Again, I'm just going to pick on the administrator. Now this is at the customer level. So in here, we're going to open this up. It's in the sales menu, which is where our customer is. We'll expand that, go all the way down to the customer section. We get our customer lists. Expand that one more time. It's actually on the customer's detail page. So now that I'm on the customer's detail page, these are all the tabs that are across the top of that screen. Scrolling down, you'll see a new item or menu list item that says proposals. So if I expand that, I'm just going to expand the whole thing here so we can see all of them. Depending upon what you want your team members to be able to do with your customers is how you're going to turn these functions on again. So if I want them to be able to create a new proposal or edit a proposal that's already out there, I'm going to give them both of those tools. Do we want them to be able to make changes, create a contract right from the proposal? And today that's our whole purpose here. So yes, we want to be able to do that. And can we delete proposals? We also want to be able to add options to our existing proposals as well. So I've got all these tools turned on right now. I'm just going to hit save, even though I didn't make any changes. We're out of that screen. Now let's go back onto the customer screen. So because I was already there, I have the liberty of, on the right-hand side here, clicking on Jordan, get us right back to her file. Then across the top, you see all those wonderful tabs that you normally would have. We've got a proposals tab. If I open that one up, you can see I pick on Jordan a lot in here. These are all the different proposals that I've created for her. We're going to create a new one today. So all I have to do to create a new one is hit new. From here, you're going to be able to put a date right in. So we're just going to put today's date. I like to put the, and you'll see from the list of proposals that I have created, I've started to really like to put the date first. So we're going to put May 18th, 2021, assigned to. So if you have different team members, maybe I'm an associate creating this proposal for my salesperson. Completely up to you. I'm going to assign myself, but you still have the ability to assign the proposal to different team members if you need to. We're going to leave that one as me. I can select my project right from here. So we're going to pick in Cottonwood Place. Then I'm going to select a job. So today I'd like to actually take and pick a job that doesn't have a plan or anything like that assigned to it. And I do believe I pre-looked one up, 35. Let's just go down my page here. Yes. So on this one here, we're going to pick the lot that we're going to sell to this customer. And at any point in time, you'll notice you can remove this information from the proposal if you need to. So our next step, now that we have the project that we're purchasing in, the lot that we're going to purchase on, we're going to select a plan. So from here, I hit the select again, and I'm presented with all those different plans that I'm allowed to sell. I'm going to pick on the 1852, the brand in Old English, elevation A right swing. And all I'm doing is clicking on that. I don't even have to hit save from that screen. And it populates all of this information for me straight down the screen. So right now, you could actually hit print if you need to. So let's just hit save first. So I could print this off for the customer, and they could walk away with basically very minimal information. They're getting their plan information, their purchaser information is in here. I don't have any options at this time, but I have all my base price. Maybe I was talking about some lot premiums or incentives. All of that is still showcased right here for you. But let's add some options together and see just how adding all of those photos and that sort has benefited us. So if, yeah, we'll do the options first, and then we'll talk about a few other things. On the option side, this is everything that's included right now. When I click the add new options, we've got all of the different options that I can add for this particular customer. So even if you decide to turn on the photos feature, if there is no photo, you can showcase that right here, and still, you can still choose the option. You don't have to worry. As I scroll down the screen though, I can see all of these photos. I could click on one, get a bigger picture of what that photo looks like for sure. I just have to move one thing here. There we go. So I get that bigger picture of the photo. If I wanted to add this countertop, all I'd have to do is click on that countertop, and I can still put some notes, any additional descriptions and that sort that I need, and just select add. I also wanted to show you that you have some other options too. If you're using your custom tool, I've decided to load a custom icon so that when we are printing out information, when we get to the selection sheet, it makes it really easy to see that that is a custom option. Or if the option is purely note driven, there's a note tool that icon that I've decided to put on there. So your team, the customer on that selection sheet, is going to know that it is purely a note that has been added. So different ways of using the system for sure. But let's add a couple more items here. Add a wall plug. Again, I can put some notes in here if I want to. So we're just going to put Toolbox Talk test, hit add, and I can continue to add additional information right here, all of the options that the customer is looking for. Now that I've got these options in here, if maybe you wanted to give them an incentive, or you know, maybe there's a promo, or there's a lot premium that you're in charge of putting in, you still have access to all of these different tools right from the pricing tab. So I have my summary tab, my options that I added, and then I also have my pricing tab here. So let's just say that we're going to give them a $5,000 incentive to maybe spend in our design studio or something like that. When everything's put together, all I have to do is hit save. We go to our summary page, and let's see what it looks like now. When we go to print this, there aren't any photos on this one at the moment. I will show you where the photos do wind up going on the selection sheet for sure. But in here, you can see the options that they've added. As I scroll down the screen, I still have my base price, my customer-driven options, my incentive, all of that is now right here. I could print this off and allow the customer to walk away today with a piece of paper knowing approximately how much this home is going to cost them. So let's just close that. We've printed this for Jordan, and then we'll just go back to Jordan's main file. And I know right now that this is proposal number 14 on May the 18th. So we'll go back to Jordan's file here. So at any time, Jordan could walk through the door and say, Nicole, you know what? I am ready to move forward with this contract. So we're going to move on to that next stage, converting this proposal to an actual contract. Super simple to do after all the work your team has currently been doing. This one here, she said she wants to move forward with our May 18th one from today. All I have to do is click on that proposal. It opens back up. I could review it if I really wanted to, but from here, all I have to do is hit this Create Contract button. So I click that button. I'm taken to the Create Contract screen right here. I could make some changes if I want to, put in a contingency if I need to, and then just hit create contract. Now you'll notice at the very top, all I can do is print. I can no longer save or make changes to this particular proposal because it has been converted over to an actual contract. I can still see my options, still see my pricing. So let's go back to Jordan's file for a moment. We've got that contract, it has been converted. Let's go right over to the contracts page. Naturally, we're looking at the one for today. So let's pick on this contract. In here, again, you've got all of that information that you had before. You're going to be able to go into the approval screen and approve that just like you would before. But what I would really like to show you right now is what happened to those options and that sort. So I'm going to go into the job file. The options that you added on the proposal automatically go into a change order. So I've got this change order here right now. Oh, I must have clicked on the wrong job file. So let me just go back to Jordan's file for a moment. Let me go back to her contract. And there we go. This is the right one. So we're going to go over to Jordan's options. There we go. That's perfect. So I can see all the options she's got. I'm going to be able to convert this just like I normally would following that entire construction process. So I've got the images and everything right here. The other place those images are actually going to show up for you is on your selection sheet. So from the selection sheet here, I can see all of those images. You also still get the ability, even though on the proposal you weren't adding those attributes, you still get to add them right from the selection sheet, just like you normally would, and get that information in for your team. So on the proposal side, we don't take and bother the customer with adding those attributes from the get-go. We're going to wait until you're actually converting that to a full contract. So you've got all those tools at your fingertips for sure. We've gone through all of these sections. Tyler, do we have any questions that have come up during this process?
Yes, we do have a couple that have come through. And if anybody else has any questions, just ask little in the questions feature in the GoToWebinar panel on the right side of the screen. Nicole, when loading a logo, is there an image size that works best?
We don't restrict the size of the image. You can load whatever you want. But on the logo page, I've just found that to kind of mirror the same Hyphen BRIX logo that we've got here, I've changed mine to the 200 pixel. So all I did with my logo is I opened up in Paint. And then when you're in Paint at the top, there's a resize and you can change it to pixel. And I just changed the width to 200 pixels and it seems to work out very well for me.
Awesome. Our next one, what type of photos can you load for options?
For options, you can load any type. So you can load PNG, JPEG, really the sky's the limit. You can actually also load a URL address. So if you have a supplier, maybe it's maybe you're dealing with Whirlpool and you want to pull in their website specifically for those appliances that you're using, instead of going in and on the options themselves, loading the standard image photo, you could actually type in a URL address right here, and that's going to pull and link directly to your supplier's website.
Awesome. The last one I'm seeing here is there a limit to the number of proposals that can be created for a client?
Thank you. Yeah, no, there are no limits on that side. And I know there's new features also coming with the proposal soon. I do believe we're talking about a copy feature so that you don't have to reinvent that wheel. If the customer wants to add on a couple more bells and whistles, you could copy an existing proposal and then add to it with additional options as well.
Awesome. Did anybody else have any questions? If so, please put it in the little questions bar. If not, always feel free to email us or contact us. Do you have that information that you can put up for us, Nicole?
I sure do. Before I do that, I just wanted to let everybody know that we have our users group meeting. Tyler, I hope I got this right. This Friday, and I think I've got all those times for Pacific, Mountain, Central, and Eastern time. And if you don't currently have an invitation to the users group meeting, feel free just to email Shane. His email address is at the very bottom, and he'll add you to the users group meeting for sure. And if you miss this, you know what, just like Tyler was saying, oops, I think I've got it on my next tab here. There we go. There's our contact information and everything with our sales team, phone number, the whole bit. So feel free to reach out either way, and we'll definitely get you on the users group or get you more information off of today's session for sure. And if anybody has any ideas or wants to see other items showcased during our toolbox meetings, please feel free to also email in those requests, and we'll try to start addressing them as well.
Absolutely. This recording will be available on our website, on our Toolbox Talk page, along with other future Toolbox Talks that we'll have. So feel free to get on our list so that you'll always get the marketing communications for when these are coming up, or feel free to share the recording with anybody else in your company that it might be useful to. That's all I got on my end, Nicole. So if you're good to go, we can go ahead and close out.
Perfect. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you on the next Toolbox Talk.
Thank you.